The AutoPilot 760 doesn't try to do everything, but it is somewhat of an interesting device out there in the market. What it is basically a cheap man's GPS model. The 760 is the predecessor, and it's not the predecessor, it's a replacement model for a lineup of devices manufactured by Ultradata, which is a company for manufacturing these type of electronic GPS-esque devices, and the AutoPilot is, of course, its model number. So from the outside, this might be confused as a calculator, but you shouldn't have too much trouble actually differentiating them, because this is around $60 at all major retail locations, like AAA. You can find them online at Amazon, all retailers that you basically find electronics in. So again, this is a cheap man's GPS for the price, but also in terms of functionality. Because this doesn't really have a GPS chip inside, it doesn't actually find where you are real time. It's more like a navigator device where you have to manually input your location. So it does have all the maps and the talking capabilities and the software built right in terms of points of interest and the mapping software. Like if I want to go to McDonald's, if I want to go to a restaurant or a public stopping place or a hotel, it has all that information stored in here in a US sort of map-esque device, but then it's really limited in terms of really accuracy, because it does not pinpoint your location. You have to enter where I am in terms of the highway, and it also has this kind of small monochrome screen. It tries to make that up with the fact that it's actually a speaker that inputs your voice, and it tells you when to turn left, when to go, etc. So that's something cool. So keep in mind, this is very cheap. So it runs on 3 AAA batteries. Ironic that this is a AAA certified device, but this is not a AAA standard device. This includes insurance information for all insurances like State Farm, all those major ones. So if we want to just go to Washington, and let's just go.
Enter states.
As you can see, the speaker works quite well. Let's see, W-A. Washington. And if we wanted to select a highway, there's I-90, I-82, I-90, I-5. And so basically that's it. So if we want to go on I-90, and we can locations how the highway runs internationally, east or west. If we want to go to east, so pretty much things are pretty self-explanatory, because there's a built-in voice capabilities in this model. Previous models and predecessors didn't have the voice capabilities, which is kind of ironic and sad. This is a talking road model. So if you want to go 0, 1, whatever, 5. What does that take you? And we can select all these categories like hotels and food and restaurants, and this actually works fairly well. And if we want to select something like gas and I don't know. And then we tell in the Arco
exit 76.
And it tells us when to
2 miles. 2 minutes.
So of course it tells us
Next
basically where our next exit is. If we are at exit 17 and we want to go east, then how many more miles do I go to the next devices? And basically it does tell you, you can also input your speed on here. If I'm traveling at 60 miles an hour, because that's a highway speed, it averages basically, and it tells you, oh, alright, about 5 minutes later, turn left. So it does work in that sense, the talking Road Navigator. It does have all these points of interest. Don't expect anything too specific, too detailed, but it has everything press MC for McDonald's. It doesn't put all the major cities and navigation across cities like Seattle. If you want to go to San Francisco or anywhere like that, Florida, it does tell you the road navigation. So that's pretty cool. Just not too fancy, but it does work as intended, and pretty much it's a $50 device. The AutoPilot by Ultradata, the 760, is an interesting device. Don't make this confused as a calculator, and certainly don't make this as a all-in-one GPS product. And I think if you want this as an emergency product to navigate with, or if you're just looking for a little bit more basic device with capabilities of emergency usage, there is insurance company information stored on here. If I'm on the road and my car crashed, you can select your insurance company like Allstate, and it does tell you the phone number and where to call, and you can call your insurance company for much more information on road crashes and of course gas and stuff like that. So pretty cool as an emergency product as well. Please read our full review. This is AutoPilot, OS and VTX.